Good morning, student. Today I am going to start chapter 6, photosynthesis. Student, we all know about the photosynthesis. You have already listened this word. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means the synthesis of something in the presence of light. Means something is synthesized in the presence of light, so that photo means light, synthesize matlab synthesis matlab something is synthesized. What something? Carbohydrates means food synthesized in the presence of light is the photosynthesis, and this mechanism is done by the plant, green plants. All the plants which are having green chlorophyll in it, they perform this mechanism, and this is called photosynthesis, and so that they are called autotrophs. There are two categories of nutrition, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs means green plants making their food with the help of inorganic substances, and heterotrophs means the animals, all the animal kingdoms which are present on other for their food, they are called heterotrophs. And all the animal kingdom is heterotrophs because they are directly or indirectly present on plant for their food. So that plants are called autotrophs and all the animals are called heterotrophs. Now, on the basis of use of pigments, use of substances, autotrophs are again divided into two categories: photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs are the all green plants because they use light for making their food, and chemoautotrophs like cyanobacteria, these bacteria use some chemical substances for making their food, so that they are called chemoautotrophs. This is all about the types of nutrition. Now, this is the equation of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide and water in the presence of light and chlorophyll makes carbohydrates and oxygen, and this oxygen released in the atmosphere, which we are using in breathing. Now, this carbon dioxide is absorbed by the leaves from the atmosphere, and it is used it is a chemical reaction in the presence of light and chlorophyll. Water and carbon dioxide combines, and chemically they form carbohydrates and oxygen. This is the oxidation reduction reaction. Photosynthesis is the oxidation reduction reaction. Here, carbon dioxide reduced to form carbohydrates, while water oxidize and release oxygen, so that it is called redox or oxidation reduction reaction. Now, the elements which are required for the process of photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, water, light and chlorophyll. It is solar light, sunlight, so that photosynthesis process always occur in the presence of light, means in daytime. It does not occur in absence of light or in night time. It always occurs in the presence of light, so that it is called photosynthesis. Now, these are the elements: carbon dioxide, water, light and chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is the pigment which is present in the chloroplast of the leaf, so that they are green in color, because chlorophyll is green in color. So all the plants having leaves, they are green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll. Now, let's study the structure of chloroplast in which chlorophyll is present. This is the double layered structure. Outer layer is called outer layer and inner one is called inner layer, and it is selective permeable. And inside the chloroplast, colorless ground substance is present, and this ground substance is called stroma. And piles of pollen like structure is also present in it, and each piles are called thylakoids, and whole stack is called grana, in which this is green in color, in which chlorophyll is present. Chlorophyll activates in the presence of light, so that it is important for the process of photosynthesis. This is the structure of chloroplast. I want to make you clear that stroma is the ground substance. Make it very clear, there is a lots of difference between stroma and stoma. Stoma is a stomata, minute pore which is present on the lower surface of the dicot leaves, and they involves in the process of transpiration. But stroma is the colorless ground substance which is present in the chloroplast, and it play a very important role in the process of photosynthesis. This is all about the structure of chloroplast. Now there are two steps involved in the process of photosynthesis. First of all, we have to study how the stomata open. There are two theories involved in opening and closing of stomata. Now let me study. Sugar concentration theory and potassium concentration theory may play a very important role in closing and opening of stomata. Sugar concentration theory, in the daytime, the cells, the chloroplast present in the cells start the process of photosynthesis, so that sugar develops, sugar made in these cells, and this sugar also made in the guard cell, and this sugar makes the cell sap of the guard cell high concentrated, means hypertonic medium in the guard cell, and this hypertonic condition of the guard cell allows the endosmosis, means sucking of water from the adjacent cells, and in this way it becomes turgid, and stomata gets open. And in the night, as the evening light intensity becomes low, the process of photosynthesis lowers, and so that the sugar concentration in the guard cell also becomes low, and so an exosmosis occurs, and in this way guard cell closes, becomes flaccid, and it closes the stomata. In this way, sugar concentration theory play important role in closing and opening of stomata. In the same way, potassium concentration theory also plays important role in the closing and opening of stomata. As the process of photosynthesis occurs in the adjacent cells, ATP, the energy in the form of ATP, involves in production of potassium ions. ATP energy pushes the potassium ions into the guard cell from the adjacent cell, and this potassium ion in the guard cell makes the cell sap of guard cell hypertonic, and so that endosmosis takes place, and in this way, because of the endosmosis, guard cell becomes turgid, and so that stomata gets open. But in the evening, as the photosynthesis process becomes low, the potassium concentration in the guard cell also becomes low, and exosmosis takes place, and in this way it becomes flaccid, and stomata gets closed. This is how they plays important role in playing and in opening and closing of stomata, because opening and closing of stomata is very important for the process of photosynthesis, because open stomata absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it also at the same time release the oxygen which is made in the process of photosynthesis in the atmosphere, so that stomata plays important role in photosynthesis process also. Now photosynthesis process involves two steps. It is a photochemical reaction and involves two steps: light reaction and dark reaction. Let me study in detail about the light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction means the reaction which takes place in the presence of light is called light reaction, or it is also called photochemical reaction, as it is a chemical reaction which takes place in the presence of light. Photo means light, so that it is also called photochemical reaction or Hill's reaction. Hill's is the name of scientist who searched it, so that it is giving honor to him. It is also called Hill's reaction. The question can come in any form: write a note on light reaction or write a note on Hill's reaction. So don't be confused. All the three things are the same. Now there are some steps involved in the light reaction. First is the activation of chlorophyll. As soon as the light falls on the leaf, chlorophyll of the chloroplast absorb the light in the form of photons. Photon is the smallest unit of light, and it absorbs the light in the form of photon and it becomes active. Means it is ready for the reaction. Now after absorbing the chlorophyll, the second step, it causes the second step, means photolysis. Photolysis means, photo means light, lysis means breaking down. In the presence of light, something is breaking. What? It is water, which is absorbed by the process of osmosis by the roots, and they are present in the leaves. This water is lysed or breaking down by the light which is absorbed by the chlorophyll, and this step is called photolysis. And in this, four hydrogen atoms and oxygen is released, and this oxygen released into the atmosphere. So the oxygen which we are used for inhaling, for breathing, is the oxygen released by the breaking down of water, not the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is reduced in the photosynthesis process, while water is oxidized. So that here oxygen released, and this oxygen released into the atmosphere, and 4 hydrogen atoms and electrons remains in the leaves. Now these electrons causes the third step. It is called reduction of NADP. NADP is a reducing agent. Its full form is the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. And the full form of this is also very important. It is surely come in the examination. So you have to learn the full form of the NADP. It is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. And it is reduced by the 4 electron and hydrogen ion into the NADPH2. NADP is the inactive form of the NADP, and NADPH2 is in active form. Now the third, this electron also causes the fourth step. It is called photophosphorylation. Photophosphorylation means activation of ADP into ATP. Conversion of ADP into ATP. ADP means adenosine diphosphate. Adenosine diphosphate in the presence of sunlight absorbs the inorganic phosphate and converts into the ATP. ATP is the adenosine triphosphate. Now these two, this NADPH2 reducing agent and ATP causes the next reaction. This is all about the light reaction. This reaction takes place in the presence of light. Now the second step or second step of the photosynthesis is the dark reaction. Means dark reaction is performed by these two agents, NADPH2 and ATP, so that they are called assimilatory parts of the photosynthesis of the dark reaction. Now let me study about the dark reaction. The second step of photosynthesis is the dark reaction. It also involves the 3 steps: First is the fixation of carbon dioxide, second is the formation of sugar, and third is the regeneration of RUBP. Now, first is the fixation of carbon dioxide, means here carbon dioxide in the leaves combines with the 5 carbon compound. Its name is the 1,5-ribulose 1,5-diphosphate. It combines with the carbon dioxide and forms the 3 carbon compound phosphoglyceric acid. Phosphoglyceric acid is a stable compound and it causes the second step, that is the formation of sugar. It, in the presence of ATP and NADPH2, 3 carbon compound, some of the, not whole carbon PGA, some of the PGA in the presence of ATP and NADPH2 form the 6 carbon compound, that is sugar, means carbohydrates. We all know the chemical equation of sugar is the C6H12O6, so that sugar is the 6 carbon compound. Now some of the PGA 3 carbon compound in the presence of ATP and NADPH2 makes the sugar, and this step is called formation of sugar. Now third, some of the PGA is utilized here and some of the PGA is utilized in the and causes the third step called regeneration of RUBP. And means PGA, some of the PGA in the presence undergoes a continuously biochemical reaction. It is catalyzed by the enzymes, many of the enzymes, and finally it produces the RUBP. RUBP is the 1,5-ribulose 1,5-biphosphate. And this RUBP is now ready for causing the another photosynthesis reaction. This is all about the dark reaction. This reaction, for this reaction light is not necessary, and this reaction occurs only because of the light reaction. So that it is totally depend on the light, indirectly depend on the light, and no light is required. No light is required for this reaction. In this dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast, and light reaction occurs in the thylakoid or granum of the chloroplast. Now this is all about the photosynthesis reaction, how the photosynthesis reaction occurs in the leaves, and how photosynthesis are making the sugar by the in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Now we will study about the adaptations of the plants for the process of photosynthesis. These are some adaptation for the leaves of the leaves for the process of photosynthesis. Means what anatomy of the leaves perform high rate of photosynthesis. First is the thinness of the leaf. Thinness of the leaf allowed the quick diffusion of the gases in the atmosphere. Now second is the large surface area. Large surface area has large extent of chlorophyll, so that it performs photosynthesis in large in high rate. Now next, thin layer of wax. If the thin layer of wax is on upper layer of the leaves, it slows the rate of transpiration, means loss of water. It slows down, so that in the presence of water, photosynthesis process, we all know water is essential, is the raw material for the process of photosynthesis. So inhibition of the transpiration also increases the rate of transpiration. It is due to the thin layer of wax on the upper surface of the leaf. Now next is a rich network of xylem and phloem. Rich network of xylem supply the high rate of high extent of water and minerals to the leaves, and rich network of phloem also spreads the sugar which is made in the leaves, in the cells of the leaves, to whole parts of the plant body, so that this also helps in the high rate of photosynthesis. These are some adaptation of the leaves for the good rate of photosynthesis. Now these are the some factors which affects the rate of photosynthesis. First is the light. Intensity of light. Intensity of light is also very important. As the light intensity of light increases, rate of photosynthesis will also increases. But at a certain extent, when the rate is very high, means carbon dioxide consumption is also very high from the atmosphere, and we all know CO2 concentration in the atmosphere is very low. It is 0.03%. So the in a decreased extent of carbon dioxide decreases the rate of photosynthesis. So intensity of light increases the rate of photosynthesis at only at some extent. Now second is the quality of light. Quality of light is also very important factor for the process of photosynthesis, for affecting the process of rate of photosynthesis. Only white light, the rate of photosynthesis is maximum as compared to the other colors of the light, and in white light it is high at the red spectrum of the white light. Now next is CO2 concentration. More CO2 concentration increases the high rate of photosynthesis, but only at some extent. When the concentration of CO2 becomes low in the atmosphere, the rate slows down, and so that only at some extent CO2 concentration increases the rate of photosynthesis. Next, the temperature. From 5 degree to 35 degree centigrade, the rate of photosynthesis is very fast, and above the 35 degree centigrade it slows down and the rate decreases. Next is the water. Water is also very essential factor for the process of photosynthesis. More water and increased concentration of water increases the rate of photosynthesis. This is all about the factors affecting the rate of photosynthesis. Now there are some internal factors are also present. Anatomy of leaf and chlorophyll extent is also because there are some leaves which are not completely green in color, they are variegated, and variegated leaves means only some part of the leaf is green and other parts is white. That type of leaves not performing the good rate of photosynthesis. So anatomy of leaf is very important, and extent of chlorophyll in the leaf is also very important factor for the rate of photosynthesis. Now the next topic of our chapter is significance of photosynthesis. These are some significances of the photosynthesis. First is, this is the process which provides food to all the animal kingdom on this earth, on this planet. Because of the photosynthesis, all living world occurs on this planet. Second is, it also not only it provides food, but also it provides the oxygen. And we all know oxygen is the life-giving gas, and it is because of it is the byproduct of photosynthesis, we all know. So that these are the two important things, food and oxygen, which is very necessary for the survival of living beings on this planet. So this is produced by the photosynthesis. These are some byproducts of photosynthesis which are very much essential for the survival of living beings on this earth. Second is, it also provides energy. Third is, because of the process of photosynthesis, it absorbs the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and in this way it also balances the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We all know that it is very harmful gas. Carbon dioxide is very harmful gas for the human beings, for all the animals, and so that because of the plant, the concentration of CO2 becomes low, and in this way it balances the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. These are the some significances of the photosynthesis. Now the last topic of this chapter is carbon cycle. Now these are the some processes which involves in regulating the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. First is the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis process involves in regulating the carbon. It balances the carbon dioxide extent in the atmosphere by absorbing it from the atmosphere for performing the photosynthesis process. In this way, it regulates the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. Now, respiration. During the respiration process, we exhale this carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and this makes the high concentration of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and absorbing the photosynthesis process. In this way, carbon cycle regulates by these two processes, photosynthesis and respiration. Respiration process released CO2 in the atmosphere, while photosynthesis process absorb the CO2 from the atmosphere. In this way, they regulate the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. Now, the next is the combustion of fuel. We all know that dead or decayed plants and forest materials converts into the wood and most of the fossil fuels, and combustion of these fossil fuels release the CO2 gas into the atmosphere. In this way, it also regulates the carbon dioxide concentration, and in this way it regulates the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. Death and decay. Decomposition of dead materials by the anaerobic bacteria and fungi also release the carbon dioxide gas into the atmosphere, and in this way they circulate the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. And food chain also regulates the carbon dioxide by exhaling the CO2 in the atmosphere, and producer, the plant, by absorbing the CO2 from the atmosphere. In this way, it also regulates the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. These are the some processes which regulates the carbon cycle, which circulates the carbon cycle in the atmosphere. Now, I will discuss about some experiments given in your book. These are the some experiments. First is to demonstrate the starch in the leaf. Means this is an experiment which shows the presence of starch in the leaf. So first of all, we starch the leaf. For that, what will we do? Detach a green leaf from a plant and dip the leaf into the boiling water. This boiling water destroys the enzymes present in the leaf, and after boiling the leaf in boiling water, dip the leaf into methylated spirit, and in methylated spirit, the color of the leaf becomes colorless, means green color means chlorophyll destroys from the leaf. And in this condition, the leaf becomes very hard and brittle. To soften it, we dip the leaf into lukewarm water, and after a few minutes it becomes softened, and then we keep it into another petri dish, and we put some drops of iodine on the leaf. After few minutes, the color of leaf changes into blue-black color. The change in color of the leaf into blue-black indicates the presence of starch in the leaf. This is the experiment, how it shows the presence of starch in the leaf. Now the second is to demonstrate the oxygen released during photosynthesis. This is the experiment. This is a beaker in which we have kept the water, and in this the inverted funnel is kept here, And in this inverted funnel, Hydrilla plant, it is aquatic plant. Hydrilla plant is kept into the funnel, and this funnel is covered by the another test tube up to the stem of the inverted funnel, and we keep this whole setup into the sunlight. After a few hours, we will see the bubbles are coming out in this way, and when we remove this test tube from the funnel and we test it by using the lighter, it burst into a flame, and this shows the presence of oxygen into the test tube. In this way, it proves that oxygen released during the process of photosynthesis. This is all about the experiment. In this way, I have completed this chapter. In the next class, we will meet with the next chapter. Till then, thank you.